So, what causes a microbiome crash in a relatively healthy reef tank? Well, simple. It's a lack of grass. When your microcosm began, it was amphipods and copepods, which was living off the cyano in your tank. Now, as your tank becomes more diverse, the microcosm becomes more diverse, they become more successful at eating the copepods and amphipods, the lower life forms. And once you get enough corals in your tank, they start eating amphipods and copepods because they're ample and they're around and they're easy to capture with their polyps. So then it becomes upon you having to reintroduce copepods often enough to sustain the higher level diversity in your microbiome. But what happens is eventually you're not capable of sustaining that microbiome. And now what happens from that point is we become successful at building, I would call life support systems that are capable to offset the microbiome dysfunction, but only for so long. And so once these pieces of equipment start to break down, you're losing that support and you're losing that area of the microbiome that it was standing in place for. And then slowly, as a piece of equipment either becomes less efficient or less capable, our systems start to break down. That's why I say the microbiome could have been dead or been dwindled or incapable of sustaining your tank. The more diverse your microbiome, the more successful and sustainable your reef tank will be. What I haven't found is the ability to allow your tank to grow so crazy at the same time being able to sustain it with the introduction of copepods and amphipods. That's why so many tanks you see are starved. And because that tank is starved, it's capable of lasting longer. So a lot of these stick tanks that I call, they look beautiful. There's no algae anywhere. They're starving the hell out of those tanks. And almost all of the equipment is what's keeping this tank alive and the chemicals and the stuff they're adding to it. But I don't think that's sustainable. And for most people, it's too expensive. And so a more natural tank is the way to go. And when you go with a natural tank, then this becomes your challenge because you're using less equipment, but you're depending on the microbiome of your tank. And therein lies where that conflict is between the experiences of those who keep a stick tank, almost a sterile tank, almost completely non-natural, and those who have a complex habitat like me.